quick bit of clarity on Davies's injury.
Calf, yeah.
Was it anything to do with the kick from Rice when he got...
No, I think it was, he actually strained it after that, I think, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I just wanted to ask you about Bissouma and the Hojbjerg decision. Can you just sort of talk us through your thought processes about that selection for the game on Sunday?
Yeah, just the makeup of the team and how we were looking to sort of set up. And, you know, Biss has, again, had a sort of interrupted season and, you know, mindful of the fact we've got a big finish here that I think we're going to need all our midfielders over the next sort of 5 games. And so it was just the way I thought the game was going to go and the structure we needed for, you know, for the challenge we're going to face in that game.
Was it a slightly more reactive move based on the opposition? Was that sort of part of the...
No, it's not. I mean, as I said, it's like I need to kind of find ways to test things and measure things, and you know, when you're trying to build something and you have few opportunities to do that in the way, you know, we play our football, it's about trying to tap into as many of the sort of resources we have within this playing group to see where we're at.
If I could take that to weekend, have you seen the video since the game of Ben White trying to undo Vicario's gloves? Is that dark art? Is it cheating? Where do you stand on that kind of thing?
I don't know. It's a strategy. You can label it. It's a strategy. Yeah. So, I have very little interest in that stuff. Never have. I don't, and it's not me casting judgment, but I just don't really care. I mean, if people are going to think that gives them an advantage or that's going to affect the game, I just don't worry about that stuff. I try and try and focus on building teams that win things.
When you say you're focused on this, surely that would impact your goalkeeper if someone's trying to undo his gloves?
Well, you know what? If it's not going to be that, it's going to be something else. Just, mate, who cares? Seriously. I know it's great theatre. I understand it. And it generates discussion. But, mate, whether he's trying to, under his glove, tickle his armpit, I really don't care. And I try and get my players to not worry about that stuff, not focus on that stuff. It's not important, mate. Really, it isn't. And if you want to go down that avenue, well, what's he supposed to do? Turn around and throw a punch and knock him out? And what does that do? Or tell him, please don't touch him? I mean, seriously, we're not in the schoolyard. And I don't think that's where, well, it's never been where my focus lies. I don't care about that stuff. And to be honest, if I saw one of my players do it, I'd be saying, mate, well, seriously, get the ball and play some football. But that doesn't mean that that's not a strategy that can be used, but I just don't buy into it. I don't care about it. It makes no impact on me. Never has. It's like, you know, let's just play some football, man.
And when you answered the question, you said you have asked for a little bit of clarity around sort of the rules around goalkeeping. How did the club ask for clarity? Can you just...
Oh, I mean, you're allowed to... Yeah, you're allowed to reach out to them. They're not a hidden society, secret society. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sure all the clubs do. We seek clarification on certain things in case anything's changed, because you never know, and they're always open to that. I think they want that dialogue, and we're just trying to get some clarity on sort of, you know, what the actual position is on sort of interference in the goals. Because I think I mentioned that at the time. I think it was after, I can't remember what game it was, that. And again, I'm ancient, mate, but I always thought the goalkeeper was a bit of a protected species, and maybe that's shifted now, and I missed the memo.
Did you get that out? Do you now understand?
No, not really. No.
Mike.
And this fixture's been spicy, should we say, down the years, in one or two cases. You've got experience of the spiciest derby of all, north of the border, so I wouldn't have thought Stamford Bridge holds any fear to you, but where is the dividing line between passion in a derby and misadventure? Because 7 or 8 years ago in this fixture, Tottenham got 9 yellow cards. That was the night Leicester won the league. Where's the dividing line between passion and misadventure?
I guess, yeah, again, I've always tried to, as I said, create a mindset where, you know, you're always I just don't feel you should be more passionate about one fixture than another. I never believe. I don't understand it. I don't believe it. I know the significance of it to, like I said, the club and and supporters, absolutely. But I tell the players to play every game as if it's their last game of football, or to train as if it's their last training session. And if I felt that they would show more passion for one particular fixture, I'd be questioning what I do on a daily basis, because then I know you can't be successful. So you've got to have a really strong mindset. And I think if you're kind of conditioning yourself in that way, then you don't cross the line. It's when you feel like, okay, I don't know, I really hate this club, I want revenge, and I'm going to just go out there and do something that I don't do on a daily basis. I think that's when you can eventually, come undone in terms of crossing that line. So my view is that, on every day, every game we play, mate, let's go at it like it's the last game we have.
Just going back to the game, the home game earlier on this season, have you ever been in charge of a team before that's been cheered off, applauded off, having lost 4-1 at home to an opposition that the fans don't care much about? It must be almost a unique experience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were cheered off. I think there was an appreciation for effort, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, ultimately, that's, I think, what all supporters want to see. They want to see their team giving everything. I think even the most sort of passionate supporters understands you're not going to win all the time, but the manner in which you play and you present yourself, and I think on that day what the supporters were applauding was the effort of the players, that, they kind of, a bit like the weekend, they refused to lay down even when things were going against us. And I think it's right that the players got acknowledged on that day. I mean, if you've lost 4-1 and, when we lost at Newcastle away, we didn't get cheered off then, and rightly so, because we didn't have the same application as we did in that day.
Tom?
And just looking back on that game, I think when people look back on the season, that would be one of the standout fixtures. And there was so much sort of debate afterwards about how you guys played with 9 men, what questions were given you afterwards. When you look back on that, how do you reflect on it after all this time? How impactful that was on your season? Obviously you lost players through injury and suspension, but just the sort of conversation around yourself as a manager.
Yeah, but I think I said after the game too, I think, whilst people were focusing kind of on the way we went about it, I knew it was going to be a pivotal day, because, I knew we'd lost Matters and Mickey van der Ven for a big spell. I knew we'd lost Christian for a chunk, and, I think at that stage we'd already lost, Perisic and Solomon, and I'm going, okay, well, this will be a real test for us for now. And part of me, well, not part of me, but I expected something to happen, because it was never going to run as smooth as it did to start, and it's a credit to the players. We got off to such a great start, but I knew after that game that, we would be really, really challenged in terms of the squad we had at the time, where we were in our development. But, the manner in which we played, I think it maybe gave people a small insight into kind of what we're trying to create here, and the way we're going about it in terms of how we're going to deal with challenges. And subsequent to that, we've still tried to do it the same way, and we, like I said, we haven't always succeeded, but I still feel, as I said before, that I think all these, the kind of pain we're going through for a lot of things this year is going to hold us in good stead.
Just talking about Chelsea, you mentioned the form recently has been pretty good, played very well in the second half against Aston Villa. In football, people often talk about money talking, and the amount of money you spend eventually will get you the rewards. It's quite hard to fight against that. Do you feel like it's inevitable eventually that Chelsea, given how much they've spent, will get back to the top?
I don't think it's inevitable. I think there's definitely an avenue there, and but again, you got to remember that they've sort of put a squad together. It's Maurizio's first year. There's a hell of a lot of challenges within that. They've got a young squad, so I think there's an avenue there, but it's not guaranteed, and it's certainly not inevitable. If you feel like anything is inevitable, there's a fair chance you won't get there. Nothing will get you there, but having, as I keep saying, they obviously had a plan and a strategy in place when they signed these players and putting Maurizio in charge. And, you know, I've said before, it's about, you know, how true you stay to that strategy and plan, whether you get to the other side.
And you'll have expected the questions about set pieces after the game of the weekend and recently. But when you look at Arsenal's goals they've scored from it, it has been a massively contributing factor to their title shot.
Yeah.
I suppose the question is, how much is it bothering you? I know you're talking a lot about it, you've got bigger things to focus on, but it is quite a big factor in results. Is it keeping up at night? Is it bothering you at all?
Not in the least. I get it. It's not an answer. Look, to quote Billy Joel, you may be right, I may be crazy, but it's maybe a lunatic you're looking for, mate. Because I'm just not interested in it. I never have. And I think enough of you have done enough research on me to know that this is not the first time I've been questioned about set pieces in my coaching career. There is an underlying reason for that, which I'm very, very comfortable with. No.
Does that mean...
Do a bit of work, mate. Come on.
Can I take from that eventually it will be less of an issue for us?
Eventually, I will create a team that has success, and it won't be because of working on set pieces.
Cool. Matt?
I just quoted Billy Joel, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. Did anyone know who that is, by the way? You almost sang along, didn't you? Yeah.